The role of the teacher and teaching materials. In distance learning, the student is basically autonomous and is self-directed. So what would be the role of the teacher in this context? The role of the teacher basically is to provide guidance and the support which is necessary for successful learning, and to contribute in the designing of the materials which he or she would be using during the course. So another role is to develop written wraparound materials, which are normally short written texts designed to provide the support like face-to-face interaction. They try to replicate, because they cannot have face-to-face interaction with the learners. So such materials would try to replicate that sort of a situation which is there in face-to-face interaction. So, for example, this wraparound material shows as if the teacher is directly talking to the learners. It says, this week's assignment involves writing a persuasive letter. Write an email to your boss and ask him for a long weekend off next month. You need it because you have promised your son that you will take him to a concert. You'll see that I have given you a few extra phrases which you might find useful. There are more available on page 37 of your course book, and I suggest that you also have a look at the example letters on page 56 if you have time. So you can see here that it is done in a very conversational style, giving various options to the learners. So in this way, it provides motivation to the learners. It gives a sort of a personal touch to this communication. It also points out the different options which are there for the learner, guides the learners about what to do by giving them some options and by giving them some ideas, a word bank, for example, and it offers other study skills tips as well. So it is written in a conversational style, and it may be even written in the learner's own language, his own first language. So in the traditional teaching, the teacher has to present himself or herself as a role model for the learners, so that the learners can actually look at the behavior, at the style of the teacher and try to imitate that. But in distance learning, it is only so far as the students can imitate the spoken language of the teacher and his or her style. The responsibility in a distance learning context is different, and as opposed to the traditional teaching, the teacher here is not responsible for classroom discipline, organization, the safety of the learners, their emotional needs, and whether the students are succeeding in learning. The teacher does not have any responsibility regarding these. The key to success for a teacher is to, if a teacher is good, then the technology which is being used in the course almost becomes transparent. The teacher can transcend the limitations of the technology. So the skilled teachers are involved, they are enthusiastic, they are expert, they can creatively use the media to enrich the students' experience beyond the four walls of the class. So the teachers also have needs in this regard. They need training in the system's technical aspects and in the educational applications of the technology which is being used. They also need time to prepare and teach the courses. They also need help in the strategies for adding the visual components in audio courses. Audio as well as video courses. They need help in interaction between students and faculty, and also in the planning and management of organizational details. So the role of the teacher is basically to establish and maintain effective communication with the students, and to think of and devise strategies for group cohesion and student motivation.